This is Brush 29. It's housed at our Station 2 at 7045 Stony Hill Road. It is comfortable seating for 5, 3 in the back, 2 up front. We've got 3 compartments on either side here down the driver's side. On the rear we've got our pump, we've got our hoses and our reels. And then coming back down to the passenger side, we've got 3 more compartments, and we're going to go over each item in the compartments, talk a little bit about what they can do and how we can best be served by using Brush 29 in wildland or grassland fire situations where the big engines just can't go. So let's go ahead and start our tour a little bit by talking about the newest piece of equipment on Brush 29, and that's right here. That's our plug for our Kuzmal, which I'll show you in a minute. The Kuzmal was installed because we had found that after the MDT was installed, it was draining the battery, causing some rough starts. So now we don't have that issue anymore. So starting with the very first compartment behind the driver, you'll notice it has 3 levels. On the bottom level, we have 2 boxes of chains in case the brush truck should get into a sticky situation or we need to help somebody out of a sticky situation. It's got 2 wheel chocks. On the middle shelf, we've got sets of hydrant wrenches. We've got spanner wrenches and we've got regular hydrant wrenches. We've got a quick connect. We've got a ball fill valve right there. Assorted adapters here for use. This here is a booster reel crank in case there should be a mechanical problem with the reel. And then we've got a snatch block also so we can help pull this truck out of the mud or somebody else out of the mud. On the top shelf we have a couple of spare nozzles. We have a spare brush nozzle and then we have a spare 1.5 inch. Got a bag of rags. Got a traffic wand just in case we are out somewhere and we need to let people know we're out and they should stay away from us. There's a scene tape, another rag, and here's a box of tools and some flares. Moving along, we've got in here our chainsaw. And that chainsaw is all set up for wood cutting because in most cases we're going to take down a tree with this chainsaw or clear it out of the road. We've got an non-ethanol fuel can, We've got a bag of chainsaw supplies and there's helmets, chaps, files, filters, spark plugs, and a wrench in there so you can make adjustments to the chainsaw and help take it apart and clean it after it's used. Over here we have True Fuel. We've got some bar oil back there and a funnel to make putting all of that stuff back into the chainsaw that much easier. So now we come to the last compartment on the driver's side. We open it up to reveal 2 shelves. On the top shelf you've got an Indian tank, and inside this Indian tank is a bladder that you can fill with water. You make sure it's connected to your hose, and there's a nozzle right here that you can use to let out hot spots or smoldering areas that you just couldn't reach with a hose or where the brush truck or an engine couldn't go. We have 2 box lights, and on the bottom shelf we have a water cooler for thirsty firefighters, more sections of forestry hose, and tucked in back a CO fire extinguisher. On the rear of the fire truck is a 3-ball hitch. This hitch is here because occasionally Brush 29 will be used to tow one of our boats. This is the pump for Brush 29. Brush 29 carries 300 gallons of water, and through that sight glass you can see how much water you have left for any firefighting activities. It runs on a Honda motor with an electric starter. That electric starter is right here. You've got your primer right here, your choke right here, and your throttle right over here. You've also got a button to help rewind your 200 foot of inch booster line. You also have your intake right here. You've got a discharge that's hooked up to 200 feet of 1.5 inches. We also carry 400 feet of forestry hose. We've got 3 fire rakes. We've got a shovel and a D-handled pike pole hiding back in there. We also carry a hydrant wrench setup, and we carry 2 hard suction hoses, one with a barrel strainer, and we carry a section of hose to help fill the tank when we need to. This is the rear compartment on the captain's side of Brush 29. In it, we've got 2 shelves, we've got personal flotation devices, we've got 2 throw bags with rope, and we've got 2 safety helmets in case this brush is being used on a boat call. We have life safety rope, we have utility rope, and a 5-gallon bucket of foam. We also have a bag of forestry outfits, including shirts and pants, in case we're ever called to fight a fire out in the woods. This is the middle compartment on the captain's side on Brush 29. We open it up to reveal it has 2 shelves. On the top shelf, it has a Halligan tool, a flathead axe, and a pry bar, including a bag of webbing. On the bottom shelf, it has bolt cutters, a pickhead axe, and 2 shovels. This is the first compartment behind the captain's seat on Brush 29. And this is our medical cabinet. We have sea collars, we have an oxygen bag, and a fully stocked EMS kit, including a defib. And on the top shelf, we have masks for any coronavirus responses we may have. We have a mega mover, we have a suction unit, we have more masks and gowns in case we need them, and an emergency blanket. Brush 29 also carries a Stokes basket and a backboard in case we need to remove a patient from a remote location. Brush 29 also has a winch on the front of the truck just in case.